Hey guys, this is Aaron from Rennpart and Total Brakes. Tonight we're going to be installing this RSS 901 roll bar and these Porsche Recaro GT3 Euro buckets in my 2001 996 Carrera 4. We're doing all of this in preparation for the Flag Rock SCCA Hillclimb coming up here at the end of the month. Got about maybe, I don't know, 2.5 weeks to get ready for it. We're going to start with this. We'll be doing a series of light modifications to this car to get it ready. We're entering in the super stock class. The car has H&R lowering springs and Bilstein coilovers and some adjustable sway bars, but other than that, I did rebuild the motor completely from the crank up. It's still a stock 3.4 liter, stock pistons, Nicosil coated bores, and coated piston skirts and bearings. Nothing really special, maybe ARP rod bolts, that's about it, performance wise. And the heads had a little bit of work done to them. I have some Chinese headers on there with tubey cans, and as part of the modifications we'll be putting on a X-pipe to delete the cats, since they're 20 years old and probably won't last too long. So this isn't really a how-to guide, but this is kind of here's what we're going to do, and I'll show you kind of the basics and you can probably figure it out from there. Step one is going to be removing these seats. These are manual seats, so what I like to do is you can pop off these little covers right here. They're relatively easy. See the rectangular shaped insert there? I take a little flathead screwdriver, lift up, and then pull forward on those. That exposes a E14 headed bolt. Use an E14, don't use a socket. I've seen so many of them stripped. Get the two front ones. If you have electric seats, don't disconnect your battery yet. Move the seat forward, unscrew the two bolts in the rear, and then you can disconnect your battery unless you want an airbag light, and then you will disconnect the seat, which I'll show you next. If you've never disconnected Volkswagen seats before, it's pretty simple, but not the first time. So there's basically this lever here that you will pull up on, and it ejects the plug. So that's it. Our battery was disconnected previous to this. And I also like to move the seats forward a little bit. That way we're not fighting the rails up against the paint. So to get the back seats out, which you can actually leave them in with this roll bar, but we're going to take them out. You pop off this little plastic cover here that covers this bolt. Take that screw out. The screw is one of those deals, I believe it's called an M8 triple square, and then the seat belt comes off with a 17 mil. So there it is assembled, there it is apart. And then once you get those out, the rear seats need to be unscrewed. You have to pull this cover off. There's a little Allen behind it. After that comes out, these lift out. That's it. All right, guys, I forgot to say you also need to take off the driver and passenger side lower belts. Little plastic cap, 17 millimeter. With this roll bar, I had to lay it in this way from the driver's side, or sorry, passenger side. It was just easier, plus I have more room. I've got the mirror tilted up. I think with the Tech Equip bar, everyone says you need to remove the mirror. I tried to lay the bar on its back, and that didn't work to install, so let's see if it clears here. Be back in a second. We got some clearance issues. All right, so had to put the sun visors out to the side. It tilted back. It rubs the headliner. I don't really like that. It's a little close, but it's in position. So now we'll try to get the bolts in, which is probably going to be a lot of fun. I haven't done one of these in a long time, but sometimes you have to put some straps in to get the bolts to fit. So we'll do that next. That was the easy part, was getting all those 4 bolts in without cross-threading them. Actually, that was probably the hardest part of the job. I started on that side. I found that if I sat on the door sill, I could push up against the bar to line it up. I would take the bushing out to see where the hole was and make sure it was straight. Got that one started, got that back driver's side one started. This was probably the hardest one. The bar seemed like it needed to twist about an inch or so, and the bushing doesn't allow any play, so it has to be lined up perfectly. And then the rear one was pretty easy. So we're gonna put the seats in now. We're gonna put in the shoulder harnesses while the seats are out. I only am doing the driver's side, solo driver for now. And yeah, then we'll put the seats in and we'll see how it looks. Got the seats in, the bars in, the belts are adjusted on the driver's side. I use these G-force harnesses with some brake Rouse side mounts. Worked out pretty nice. The bar was probably one of the easier things, but adjusting the belts is always fun, getting the belts mounted. But as you can see, they're in there. This driver's seat was modified to sit back, which I actually not sure if I like it. I am taller and it is comfortable, but I feel like my knees are in the steering wheel a little bit. So there it is, Savannah beige with blue interior. So that pretty much wraps it up. These seats are very comfortable. I am about 6 foot tall, so you can see where my head is in here. I have plenty of room, although this seat is tilted back a little bit. Someone modified the side of the seat and put in some nutserts and leaned it back, which is nice. I'm not sure. I'll have to test it out and see how it does, but we'll see. We'll see if I like them. I mean, you know, it's one of those things that you always are really seeking, you know, these Recaro seats, but we'll see how it is on a daily basis. The sport seats I had just been recovered, and they were really nice and cushy, and they had heaters too, but you don't need heated seats in a race car. But this isn't a race car. I'm trying to make this a really good road-going car that can do some light track stuff. I don't want to give up, you know, the interior air conditioning, kind of the creature comforts, some of the driving habits. You know, for instance, it had these transmission mount inserts in, and they would just rattle the heck out of your teeth. And you know, if it was a race car only, sure, that's fine, but on the street, my days with that stuff is over. And you know, I kind of like the quiet ride. So we do have some RS engine mounts in here. Those are a kit that we offer. Basically, they're the 964 RS engine mounts. They're a rubber bushing mount instead of a liquid filled. So they don't really add that much NVH. There's a couple of rattles I need to work on. Really not that noticeable, but just enough to stiffen things up in the back. So that's it, and we'll follow up this video with a few more installations. We'll be doing the catless X-pipe and underdrive pulley, third radiator kit with a CSF radiator, baffled oil pan, and what else is there? Oh, Girodisc 2-piece rotors with their stud kit and some Carbotech pads. So we'll be in touch, and we'll talk to you guys soon.